Yeah. Rad.
I'll get one.
Step it up. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of the internet? Jeff Kiesel Guitars hanging out. Hopefully the live Q&A is not going to stump us this week. I think we figured it out, or not. I guess it did stump us yesterday, but I think it was figured out. There was a setting on our new laptop that was trying to optimize bandwidth, so it was like squashing the stream down to like 1 megabyte per second for output instead of like, I think it needs to be like 120 or something. I don't remember, but I think we're working. So hopefully you have audio and video, and postpone the live to today so we didn't have the same experience as last week, which start and stop, and it's frustrating because you're over here and I want to do a good job and tell you guys what's going on, and then I feel like I got to repeat myself. Well, by the fourth time, I was just over it and frustrated, and so anyhow, here we are. Hopefully it's working. Deal of the live. Oh, cool. Not deal of the hour, deal of the live. Look at the fancy tag here. Beautiful Jason Becker. This one is featuring our brand new fade finish. This particular fade is aqua to blue. You can see the beautiful 5A, almost master grade, really, upgraded top on this one. Just absolutely gorgeous. We're going to let this one go for $2,200. It has, of course, all the same features that a Jason Becker is going to come standard with. Black chrome hardware, Floyd Rose, the pickups Jason played back in the day, stainless jumbo frets, flame maple fingerboard, abalone dots. It has the Kiesel logo, pointed angled headstock, and a plain maple neck with a black gloss body. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at this thing. So $2,200 grabs this one with our brand new fade finish. Again, this is the aqua to blue. Very, very cool looking guitar. So if this one is doing it for you, call my guys, 858 Guitars, and grab this sexy Becker. We straight up and down? We good? Look okay? Cool. Speaking of sexy guitars and signature models, so it's a Jason Becker. This is a customer's Craig Chiquiso. And this one's for a Jeremy And we had a completion date of 2/9. So here we are, 2/16, just missing that date barely. But look at how gorgeous that is. Just such a nice, I think that's our new Select Deep Green, right? Yep. So this is our new Forest Green Select Stain Finish. This was actually requested by Dustin Davidson from ABR, from August Burns Red. And just such a good looking finish. I mean, it really pops that top out. Just absolutely gorgeous. Goes really good with the abalone. Sorry to be shifting it around, Brandon.
All good.
But it goes really good with those abalone inlays. You know, that green, of course, blues go great. The abalone that we buy is actually the heart of the abalone. So it's the more intense colored. Typically, it has a lot more green in it. And it's not weak like a lot of abalones can be. So we pay extra for the premium sets. But what a gorgeous guitar. And then, of course, you got the beautiful Honduran mahogany body. I was just out in the shop, got a little bit of dust in there. And abalone cap knobs. Just way to go. Great, great specs on this one. Love it. Looks super sick. And of course, got the eagle inlay on the headstock. Maybe not feeling the Purple Heart backplate personally, but I'd probably go with an ebony one. But it's still sexy nevertheless. Speaking of sexy, I want to show this guitar off. This was for a buddy of mine. So this was a K series, or is a K series, and it was a build I did for a friend that actually helped me out a good bit last year. And I named this finish, this metal flake infused finish, Majestic. So it's a very majestic looking guitar. And of course you have the roasted bird's eye board. That Buckeye top is just absolutely amazing looking. Koa body. Look at the back of that neck and the back of that body. That Koa's got a little bit of flame in it. Let's see some of the chatoyance going on there. Royal ebony backplate, 7-piece neck, maple, walnut, mahogany maple. Of course, you got to have the matching headstock with that beautiful finish. Now, of course, if you wanted something like this, you could always call into the guys. K-Series aren't available to order online. Maybe at some point that will change, but right now they're still call in only or email in. And the reason for that is there's so many specialty options on these. You know, even something like this, just try to capture some of the sparkles in there. Just love the way this looks. You know, I've seen other companies try to do this, their version of like metal flake infused, and I haven't really seen anything that has this kind of vibrance or depth yet. I'm sure people will figure out, you know, kind of what we're doing. But until then, I'm really stoked on these. I think they look amazing. So anyway, wanted to show that one off. And that is a really nice piece of roasted bird's eye, super dark, almost like a leathery look. So on that note, we open it up for questions. So whatever you guys want to know, it doesn't have to stay guitar related. Feel free to ask whatever you want to know. And let's do it. What do you guys want to know?
How much smaller is the hyperdrive body? Let me grab this. How much smaller is the hyperdrive body compared to the Aries?
The hyperdrive body, how much smaller is it? It's bigger than the Aries. It's, you know, an offset guitar. It's, you know, it takes up quite a bit more space. So it would be a bigger body than the Aries, a heavier guitar than the Aries.
Why can't I get roasted maple necks with angled pointed headstocks?
It's a great question. So with an angled pointed headstock, I'm gonna flip this one around. We have to add an extra piece of maple. So on this one it's maple, but we have to add an extra piece. So about right here, there's a line going all the way up, and this is a separate piece than this to get that angle. So God forbid, if it's roasted and it doesn't match perfectly, we have a color difference. I'm just not interested in even doing that at all because I just don't want to hear about it. You know, if the pieces of wood are not the exact same hue, I don't want to hear about it later. So we've just decided to not do that, not touch that one at all. So that is why. There's no other reason other than that right there.
What is your favorite guitar specs to build as a luthier? Carved top, wood type, all specs.
Oh man, that's going to take too long. You know, every guitar has its own thing. I mean, I can build something and really enjoy putting specs together for a $2,000 build. I can have a great time building something for $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. I put together a spec build for a customer that's at $18,000, like $700. They're all a lot of fun. You know, they get their own look. And my goal always is, when I'm involved with the customer, is to get them do the best I can for the money that they're spending and try to accomplish what they have in their head. You know, what ideas do they have? What are they trying to do? And so that's the fun part, you know, and obviously if I'm involved, you know, it's going to be, you know, have to be a higher ticket build just because my time's limited. You know, I wouldn't have time to, you know, work on a lot of builds as far as putting specs together for customers. But that's the fun part, right? You know, like, you know, getting something together that accomplishes what the customer wants, and then, you know, getting their reaction. That's the best. And I love surprising people. You know, sometimes customers will be like, hey, just surprise me. Like this build here was a surprise. And I had him bring it back because we didn't get a chance to take, you know, proper studio shots of the guitar. And so he dropped it off yesterday with me. And he's had it now for, I guess, since about July of last year. And it's just an amazing guitar. And I love doing stuff like that. I get a budget and boom. And so that one I actually surprised a buddy with.
Between the Theos and Aries chambered swamp ash, which one is lighter?
The Aries is going to be lighter, and that the biggest reason is there's a bevel on it. Also, the upper horn is a little thinner. But yeah, the body in general has less mass to it, so it's going to be lighter. Even if you got a bevel delete, it would still be a lighter guitar. It's got a deeper body cutaway in the back. And then, of course, the horns are a little skinnier.
Is it possible to get a JB like that with a KTB?
Absolutely. Yeah, if you saw something like this and you want to do a custom order, it's not a problem. Just call the guys. The thing that makes this guitar really special, for me at least, is I prefer flame maple. I would say probably more like a 5A, even maybe 7A, but like this top is so nice because it's got some spacing. And I really like the spacing in between the flames, more of a wide pocketing flame, because I feel like it just adds more character and more looks. Sometimes when you have crazy amount of flame, it's like it's too much going on. And I guess it just really depends on what finish you're getting. Like an Arctic, I have mine at home, and it's got a ton of tight flame. I like that on an Arctic. But on something like this, where it doesn't have any of like the negative space on the edges, I really like the wide pocketing. Like this right here, I just love that, you know, how big the gaps are. It looks so cool. It's getting harder to get stuff like that too.
Are you still offering $1,000 to whoever can break one of the carbon fiber rods?
Sure. Yeah, our artists have tried. Zach tried. It was so funny. And then Zach finally broke one, like, I think over his knee or on a machine or something.
I had to do it with my foot.
Oh, your foot. That's what it was. Yeah. And you did it the weak way too. You did it he couldn't do it the normal way. So like the rods are, shoot, I don't have anything. So let's say the rod goes in like if the fretboard is like this, the rod goes in like that. He couldn't break it where, you know, going that way. He had to flip it on its side and break it the skinnier. Oh, you got one. There we go. Perfect. So the rod, they go in like this, right? And so as I turn it sideways, you know, it would be pushing this way. Well, if you push it that way, it's a lot easier to bend. Like I can bend it a little bit that way, but this way, I mean, I can't bend it like at all. So we've had people trying to break these, and it is funny. You know, some really strong guys like Kevin Creekman, John Holt. I don't know if you guys know who they are, but these guys are bench pressing like 300-400 pounds, and their arms are like the size of my thighs, and it's just the funniest was John Holt when he was here with his wife, and he was just trying so hard. He looked like a freaking tomato, and I was dying, and she's laughing at him, and it was just. And I love John. He's an awesome guy, and yeah, he was such a good sport about it. But yeah, nobody's been able to break one. And then Zach breaks one on his foot, like stands on it, breaks it the wrong way, and he's like, "You owe me $1,000." I'm like, "No, you owe me $40 for the rod you just broke, jackass." So yeah, these are expensive. We don't quite pay $40 a piece because we buy in such bulk. But if you were, a private luthier and you were to, buy something of this grade, this quality, that's about what you would pay per rod. But we're buying them, each year, we're buying, 8,500 of them or so. So we get obviously a good deal. But, we could have something like this made, these carbon fiber rods, for a fraction of the cost that would snap like super easy. And we could use it as a marketing ploy, but we don't do that. So, keep in mind, we were, one of the first companies to put these in everything standard, and now a lot of companies are doing it. I don't know what they're using. I can show you what we're using and how great they are, and maybe other people are using something as good, maybe even stronger, but I would be hard-pressed to believe that they're using something this strong. I would say a lot is going to be something that's more of a ploy or a gimmick, and ours is no gimmick at all. These things work. Guys that are touring all over the world, I don't want them to have to do truss rod adjustments. I want them to play the guitar, enjoy each other, chill, get some good food, when they're out on the road, and just have a great experience. I don't want them fussing with their guitars.
Could you couple that K-Series Metal Flake infused finish with a reverse Monster Burst on the top and couple it with the reverse Monster Burst as a treated neck finish? It's a lot.
Maybe. If you're really serious about something like that, give my guys a call. We could take a look at that. It's not going to be inexpensive at all. And what would have to happen is wherever the infusion is, we have to mask all that off perfectly so that no paint gets over that. So you're talking about a very, very expensive guitar. So if you're really serious, call my guys. A lot of things are possible, but you're going to have to break that wallet out, to make something like that happen.
How long is the roast treatment for Bird's Eye Maple?
We don't discuss that. It's proprietary. We did a lot of testing, and we don't disclose that. I will tell you this, different woods are roasted at different times and different temperatures.
What is the lightest weight guitar you guys have built to date, and also a bass?
I don't know off the top of my head. I know we've built things under 5 pounds, but I don't know the exact one.
How much is the deal of the live?
$2,200.
If you were going to set up a build for a young musician just starting touring, what would your specs look like for a bulletproof lifetime touring guitar?
Totally depends on the style of band, style of music. I would take a look at an Aries. I'd probably go bolt-on, just because if you ever want to service anything, it's easier. The neck is a separate component. I would do a 7-piece neck on there. Probably go with just an ebony board or Richlight. And it's hard. I can't tell you what specs to do on the guitar because I don't know what you play, but I'd probably do a gloss finish on the guitar. And I would do an inline headstock, and that would be it. Maybe add our acoustic system, so that way if you're doing any studio stuff, you can get some really nice splits. It's a pretty cool option. I was hanging out with Lee. Lee McKinney stayed with me last week. He came down on Friday and then went back home Monday. So he was with me over the weekend. Had a great time with him. It's so good to see him. Some of you guys may have heard Lee had a pretty big health scare. I'm not going to go into any details, but the bottom line is he wasn't expected to live, to be completely honest. And even if he did live, he was supposed to, be in the hospital for up to a year. And he was out weeks later and is healing and doing so amazing. He's able to tour again, and it was just so cool getting to spend the weekend with him. But we were talking about the acoustic, on his model, and how he loves taking and splitting that out, especially for studio stuff, because the clean sounds is just so full and fat when you have that acoustic. So he doesn't use it a lot live, but for recording, he uses it quite a bit.
How much does a chambered body affect the sound?
It's a decent amount, but then again, there's that group out there that says tone woods or woods don't affect sound. So it's one of those things where if you record something on a computer, look at the spectrum, you can clearly see that it's a difference. Can everybody hear it? No, not everybody can hear it, but people with very sensitive hearing, people that can pick things out on recordings and have a good ear, they're going to hear the difference. And so typically you're going to get a boost in the mid-range, and then obviously you're going to get that more acoustic sound, like live or unplugged, it's going to be a little louder. And I've always been a fan of louder guitars when they're not plugged in.
I want to order an LM6. Should I get a purple reverse Cali burst on it or a natural to blue fade?
Purple reverse Cali all the way over a poplar top. That's what I would get. I actually put a build in today for a reverse purple Cali with a poplar top and swamp ash body, 3-piece. So it's got the antique ash and all that. I'm looking forward to seeing that thing come out.
Jeremy Grinnin says, just got word that my solo is done. It's my first Kiesel. I'm so excited.
That's awesome, man. Very cool.
How much is a 2-color crackle? Hot pink and the new purple would look pretty sick, I think.
Yeah, we've actually done that. It does look really good. I think the 2-color crackles are $800, I think. It's either $600 or $800. The guys know. You can give them a call for that.
Are solid poplar burl and buckeye burl body options?
They are. They're options. Yeah, absolutely. Call my guys. Stuff like that. Sorry, Zach. Stuff like that is going to be absolutely no return. We're going to require 50% down and absolutely no return because we're taking, a piece of buckeye or poplar that's rare, and we're using all of it for one guitar that we could get several guitars out of. So it's going to be very expensive, of course. Bitchin', it'd be amazing looking, but it's not going to be a cheap thing, and it's not going to be returnable. It won't come with a trial period at all.
Can you show off the deal of the live again?
Sure. I need, what we should get is like a spinner. That'd be really cool if it's just constantly spinning. Yeah, it's a nice one. And, keep in mind, it's a Jason Becker, so buying it, part of the proceeds go to Jason to help him with the special needs costs. So that's always a good feels thing. So if you don't have a Jason Becker in your collection, this is a really cool one, very unique. It's would also be one of the first fades that anybody's been able to buy. It's pretty cool.
How about we get a Lazy Susan and you could just spin it once in a while? Yeah, just give it a flick.
It's like, the thing like slides off. Well, there goes the deal of the live. It's not available anymore.
Scott Janzer is wondering, who would be the Kiesel artist that would be most likely to break the carbon fiber rod? And if they actually tried, did they still fail? Aaron Patrick is a pretty fit dude.
Yeah, Scott, you're not wrong. So Aaron's been here multiple times, tried. Kevin Creekman, John Holt, those are I guess the most brutal guys as far as size and muscles, and none of them have even come close. I mean, you don't even hear the fibers starting to crack or anything in there. The only thing they're burning or breaking is I don't know, maybe blood vessels. I mean, their heads are veins in there and turning red. And I mean, they all know. They're they check it out and they try and they're like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to break this. There's no way. I mean, none of them really thought they could.
Kevin is pretty.
Al's strong, but I would say out of that crew, I would say Holt is probably the strongest. I would say. I mean, he works out. He's a personal trainer. I mean, that's what he does for a living. Besides being a professional musician, but he is a personal trainer. I would say John is the strongest out of that group, and he's freaking Swedish and like 6'3". I mean, he's a big boy.
Will you offer?
You've met John, right, Zach? Have you met John before?
I think at NAMM.
Yeah.
I think that's it though.
Yeah.
Will you offer international orders the option to prepay the import tax? This would allow instruments to not be opened by customs. FedEx can offer this.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. But no, I've never been requested to have that. And it sounds like a lot of extra work on our end. And to be completely honest with you, we're just trying to keep up. So you're the first person to ever ask for that. So.
What is the difference between Aurora Blue and Trans Aqua finishes?
Quite a bit. So Aurora Blue is a stain. So there's no paint actually on there. And Trans Aqua is a translucent paint. It's quite a bit of difference.
Is that a nylon string guitar on the wall? It looks killer.
The one over here, that is a nylon string guitar on the wall.
Any tips on how to get the lightest Thanos bass?
So for any instrument, the best, lightest thing you're going to be able to do is going to be a roasted swamp ash body that's been chambered with a swamp ash top. We don't do roasted swamp ash tops. If we did, then I would say that. Probably a bird's eye maple fretboard and probably a roasted maple neck. That's going to be your best, lightest thing you can possibly get. Now, tone, that might not be exactly what you want, but if you're only concerned about weight, that's going to be your lightest weight setup, whether it's guitar or bass. You got a shit-eating grin. What do you got, son?
No, Scott has like the weirdest question ever.
Okay. Janzer?
Yeah. Would you rather find a dead person or living person in your attic?
I would say a living person for sure. Like a dead body would like freak me out. And now that if I found a living person in my attic, he might be dead by the time you get him out anyway, depending on how that situation goes. But if you had a dead person, someone dies in your house, you have to disclose that if you ever sell your home. So just thinking like financially down the road, I would go with the live person. And I guess it depends on, is the person armed? Can you know all that, Yeah, that's a weird one, Scott. Damn.
Manuel Avalos is asking, I'm about to buy a custom Kiesel, but I only see Fishman pickups in black. Can it be ordered in gold?
They cannot. The only way to do that, which you'd be better off honestly doing it on your own, is you could buy Fishman pickups, send them into us, and then we could install them here. We do have a charge for that. It's $100 versus getting the Fishmans from us is $200. So it's up to you. If you wanted to supply your own gold Fishmans, you could. And the reason why we don't offer the gold is because then people are going to want chrome, and then we got to buy all these different models. It's just, for us, it's just really easy to hit the easy button. 80% of our sales are black for pickups, and it just accommodates the majority of the people.
That majestic finish looks like a satellite photo of some mountain lakes.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I mean, the goal was to honestly make it look like natural, crazy, like gorges. There's a gorge in, is it in Peru or Costa Rica? It's called Hokitika Gorge, and that was kind of the goal, was to make that look like that. So if you ever Google Hokitika Gorge, that was the goal. So what you just said is awesome, because that was exactly my goal with that guitar.
Can you talk about the new purple color?
The new purple color, yeah. So it's like a medium purple. It's a solid color. It's a free color. It's a great looking finish. It's going to even look really good. We haven't done one yet. but over swamp ash as a raw tone. I can't wait to see that. That would be really cool for somebody to do that. But it's a neat color. It pairs well with gold, pairs well with black. Chrome is fine, but like an ebony board or a rich light board, or maybe royal ebony with gold hardware, gold pole pieces, or even just black hardware. That's going to be cool. Even black covers on your pickups with gold pole pieces. Another subtle touch that just really, kind of sets it off. Purple and gold go really well together.
Some mystery person named Jason Lee says, rumor is that Flock can easily snap the rod and is being nice this whole time by holding off.
Dang. Flock, why are you snapping your rod, man? That sounds dangerous.
Sounds like something Flock would do.
Like, hey, I got a denim belt on. You want to feel my belt? We love Flock. And seriously, Flock's been doing these great videos, on a different YouTube channel, so not on our main channel, but they're demo videos, showing off our end stocks. So he talks about them a little bit, maybe shows off some features, does some really cool playing. Flock's a great, very talented, tasteful player, and so it's great having him do these videos. He's doing them twice a week, so be checking those out. That way you could see and hear. Another way to see and hear the in-stocks. And so I've kind of told them to start with the more specialized stuff. Typically the higher price stuff is more specialized. Start with those and work your way down. And a lot of the guitars he's done the video demos on, they sell right away. So he's doing a great job at that.
Excuse me. I once saw Carstairs Blue as a color option. Is that a real option?
You can get that, yeah. It'd be a call-in option, but you could get that. The only way to get it on the builder would be on Scott's model, the CS7X. You could get that on that.
All right. Facebook
Not
is
CS, SC7X. Dyslexia, sorry.
Facebook's being weird today. Ryan, like the people.
Oh, got it. Way to go, Ryan.
Ryan Funk on Facebook is now asking, would you rather find a person in your attic or 100,000 roaches?
Well, man. I mean, it depends on who that person is. Shaq could be up there. I want to hang out with him, right? I mean, it depends on who the person is. I mean, there's like the dynamic is so crazy. And are those 100,000 roaches, are they plastic fake ones? Because that'd be no big deal. I don't know. That's a hard one. That would be a question back for you. So what's the status of this person? Are they there to cause me physical harm? And if so, I guess I could just be armed going up there, which would still not be an ideal situation. But
yeah, Facebook's being weird today. What the heck?
We got another good one. What do we got?
Scott just responded and said, I'd worry that Shaq would have caused serious structural damage to the ceiling and roof.
Oh, man, it'd be so worth it, though. So worth it. Yeah, that's my one. If I could hang out with any celebrity in the world, it'd be that guy. It's been like that since I watched him when he joined the Lakers in 99, and I was watching him, maybe it was 98 even. Just watching him back then, he just seemed like so much fun, like goofy, but still very serious. But just a fun person to chill with. And one of these days, I still want to build. I've been talking about doing this for a while. Build a Shaq scaled guitar for him. Just like, okay, let's say the average guitar player is 6 foot tall, so he's 7'1", so I got to scale everything up accordingly. Fretboard, body, neck. Headstock, everything, just scale everything up. That would mean custom pickups, but so worth it to do something like that for that guy. I would do that in a heartbeat. I need to just do it and see if I can get it to him, and just even get an email back from like his agent just saying thank you. That would be good enough for me, man, let alone hanging out with him. We did something cool too. We, you guys may have seen, we built you guys might not know this about me, but we built a bass and a guitar for Dr. Dre, and he loved it. And he said that, I don't remember the exact words, but basically the bass was one of the best sounding basses he's ever heard. It was our JB5, all murdered out, all flat black, and he was just stoked about it. And we were supposed to go up there and hang out with him, and then COVID hit, and then Dre had some health issues and stuff, and so we got to circle back to that again and get up there and meet him, because when I was a kid, that was a big album, The Chronic, and I don't really listen to rap or anything like that, but every once in a while we'll throw in like The Chronic, because when I was a kid I grew up listening to that music a lot, and when I was like, I don't know, whenever that album was new, but I was a young teenager, and that was a big part of my life at that point in time, kind of before I found like Blank, Atreyu, Deftones, those bands that like shaped me into, what I am now and what I listen to now. But that was such a big thing for me. So to have an opportunity to work with him through Chris, our AR guy, was such a huge thing, and still would love to go up and meet Dre. That would be really, really cool.
All right. We have a comment and then one last question real quick. Tyler Schaefer says, I almost have my build paid off. Chelsea has been awesome to work with. I did an 8-string Osiris grape jelly metallic with black splatter. Thanks.
Nice. That's awesome. That sounds like cool specs. I haven't seen it, but it sounds like cool specs.
And then, is the live changing to Thursdays?
Not planning on that. It's just yesterday we had technical difficulties, and so we just moved the live. And the reason why we do Wednesdays is that's a day where I'm rarely traveling. So sometimes I have to travel to a race. So I can make the most Wednesdays. But if you guys think that maybe we should change it up, let us know what day you think would be better than Wednesday. If it's, and I don't know about everybody else's schedule here, but if a different day works, I'm gonna miss a fair amount of Fridays. I'm off. I'm trying to be off as many Fridays as I can. So Fridays I can't do, but I would miss probably some Thursdays, and I think I'd miss a fair amount of Mondays, coming back from races, because we're getting into our racing season. So we'll be starting to travel and doing some of that, and that'll be fun. But on that note, I think that's all the time we have. I am blown away that the deal of the hour for $2,200 did not sell. That's crazy. I thought that thing would have been like scooped up instantly. Maybe it was Flock. Maybe Flock was so busy getting his comments in online he didn't pick up the phone. So anyhow, on that note, if you guys have any questions, as always, call my guys. We'd love to have you join the family or add to the collection. 858 Guitars. We'll see you.